government just hasn't accepted that we have a cure in our hands, and that many lives are depending on that, and that they need to make this a priority now. You know, we're one of the countries that are just falling behind in accepting all this, and in other countries that are doing well, you know, there's a lot of lives being saved. I mean, in Spain, when you're going on the waiting list, there's over a 60–70% success rate of people getting, you know, and that is very satisfying to know that. You're living in a country where if you get sick and you're going to need, and it's a life-threatening disease, and you're going to need an organ, and you're going to go on a list where there's a 60–70% success rate, that is very satisfying, because right now we're living in a country where we have the lowest rate, and families and individuals are going through a very stressful time knowing that the odds are against them.
What's our percentage?
Well, we have at present 13.9 per million, and that is extremely low compared to other countries.
If I could just comment on the question that Brett asked, I think it's very clear when you look at what is happening in the healthcare system that there's a lack of direction as to what is to be the priority. And so you see situations, decisions which are being made which are chaotic. So if I may use a local example, downloading ambulances onto municipalities makes no sense because it's going to cost municipalities more money to run the ambulance system than it would cost the province. Even the auditor says that. Wiping out nursing education programs in Kenora and Fort Francis and elsewhere in Ontario 3 years ago, and then discovering that you've got a nursing shortage, and then you have to reinstitute those nursing programs again. There's all kinds of chaotic decision making being made, which when you look at it in the broader picture doesn't make any sense. And I think that the issue that George is addressing is one of those things that is falling by the wayside because of that chaotic decision making.
We've also got two councillors here, George. I think we've got them, Ted Tiskey and Ron Lunny. Maybe you guys want to say something?
No, except, sorry, did you go first? Good to see you.
He's still waiting for an arm.
Yeah. If you find one of your traveling, please.
I'll be on the list.
No, one of the other things I've noticed, like in a small hospital like we have here, there doesn't seem to be the ability to take these transplants, and that's one of the problems we face in the north. I know from personal experience that somebody passed away and you've offered their organs for donation and just don't have the the capacity to take them. That's one of the problems we face, and that's another one we have to deal with.
And just to add on that, I've been addressing all the hospitals along the way too, and they all telling me the same thing, and so are people that I'm talking to. Some people are very discouraged into even signing their donor card, knowing that maybe their organ might not arrive in time because we don't have the equipment up here. And that's, that's the truth. There isn't proper retrieval and harvesting areas around these areas, and I mean that's another area that has to get addressed. It has to get addressed. I mean it just. There's been studies and so many things done in this area, and you don't have to learn to do it. It's very simple. Do a massive education and awareness campaign, and get the equipment and the stuff you need to accommodate the overload. It just really comes down to as simple as that. So I know that I talk as regularly as I can to the Premier, and I know Mr. Hampton does that too, because I watch the parliamentary channels.
A little different tone.
I might talk at him in a different tone.
But I'm really stressing to him the importance of he's got what is it, 46 million or something going to the organ. I'm really stressing the importance that he use the money up here in Northern Ontario to put those things in place.
George, what would be the procedure if the clubs or individuals would like to help you in regards to money and that for donations for your cause?
like that question. We're in really desperate need of funds. We're not supported or funded by any big corporations. We rely solely on the community that we're in to get us to the next community. I have, 3 crew members that are really believing in what's going on here and what we can accomplish. So if I didn't have that, it would be dead, because we're pretty well broke in the bank, and maybe that's the way it had to be. Like, I think it's given us more of a chance to get around to the community to do more fundraising. But right now, we need as much funds as we can and it would take a bit of the load off of us if we had a public relations team back at home to do our scheduling. We have to do that on the road right now, among a million other things. So, yes, we need funds.
Would the check be made out to you personally, or?
Step by step, Oregon Transplant Association. We can provide you with a card.
Okay, good, that's fine. Ron?
Yes, after all said and done, I'd like to say that I greatly admire anybody that does what you're doing. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of selflessness. And I do really admire you right from when Jerry Fox went through it. I think it's fantastic, guys.
I'm just going to add a little bit of insanity.
There is one more function that Mayor Dave and Didnt you're in the Thistle Pavilion, and Mayor Dave is going to give George Marcello his thistle cap.
This is, I don't know if you knew, George, I'm sure Buckfield, you know already, this is the smallest community in North America ever to win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, really?
Actually, the plaque is outside.
You guys know that?
I knew that.
Oh, okay.
We tried to save the punchline till the end, but Ron Baker certainly did it very, very aptly. We are looking for support from all the community groups during the week that George will be here with his crew. They make a lot of calls, and they're prepared to come to speaking engagements, so whatever your club meets this week. They'll be making an appearance at the snowcross races, but any other agency that you know that you can pass word on that George is in town, and if you want to speak to your group, they also need some financial assistance. Do what you can. And thank you to the media and everybody else that came to welcome George to Kenora.
Thanks a lot, Buck. And I want to thank this guy. He's been working hard all week.
Here we come.
Hey, Dave.
One more card.
Did you need some more? No?
Yeah, I need some more. That's all I've got.
Out in the...
We're invited to a couple of reservations in the area. We're also going to try and do the service group tonight and all I'm doing is Rotary.
It was only his idea.
Crap, am I forgetting something here? But I left with a pretty good feeling.
So I need it, so I.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for coming out. My sister.
He's right, though.
Besides being in
Now you're in Kenora right now. You're going to do a couple events here, and you have a bunch of tours planned. One across, I guess, on Ontario, and one across Manitoba.